Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
For those that are new to the couch, welcome, Couch Potatoes. Number one, I do certain segments. Thank you for the gifts. I do certain segments on the podcast. They're staples on the couch, period. Like, it's always going to be talked about. And sickle cell talk is always going to be talked about. So if it's something that you didn't catch this month, you're going to catch it next month. You may even catch a guest. We actually was supposed to have a guest, Lewis. He's my TikTok friend. He has sickle cell, and he's actually having a crisis right now. So let's send some positive vibes, love, and energy his way. It just... First, let's give a moment of silence for the ones who didn't make it here today, for whatever reason. If you missed any of last week's episodes, or just any episode, period, you can always go back, rewatch, re-listen to any of the Couch episodes on Couch Chronicles No Limits, on Spotify, Pandora, Twitch, Apple Podcasts, Fanbase, Threads, Lemonade, TikTok, Instagram, Bigo, everywhere. You can also visit the YouTube channel, which is my main channel, THA Real JANELL. And also, if you want to watch on Facebook, my main page is where we're streaming. I know a lot of people have been going to the Couch page, but the Couch page is blocked. So we're on my regular page. But all the other pages are the same. Again, today is Sickle Cell Talk, and I started this segment because of my friend Shaquanda. I had her scheduled. I literally had a flyer made for her. She was supposed to be on the couch, and she got sick. She had a crisis. And, back then when I didn't know the words, it was she got sick. For them, it's crisis, and I say for them. I don't know why I said it like that, but when it comes to lupus, we say flare-ups. And I was, the more I learn about sickle cell, the more I see, like, the similarities and the differences. It's just a different word, but it's the same. I wouldn't even say it's the same. I just, when we have flare-ups, we have flare-ups, and we can get over them. Sickle cell, you can have a crisis and never come back from it. I mean, the same with lupus. So, I don't... It's no comparison when it comes to pain. Like, I don't try to compare pain. Like, you ever been around somebody and both of you guys are hurting, and then you're talking about your pain, and it almost seems as if you're comparing pain? Like, you're literally like, yeah, my leg. Yeah, my leg. Yeah, but mine go down to the foot. Oh, yeah, mine go down to the foot and the other leg. Oh, damn. And mine go up to the spine. It's crazy because mine go to my head, too, and my neck. But, I mean, it's not like you're lying about it. It's serious, but it just seems like you're comparing pain. And when I tell you, anybody with an autoimmune disease, and I'm sure anybody with sickle cell can contest to this as well, we don't really like talking about being in pain, like comparing pain. Thank you so much for the gift. Being in pain, or, as being around somebody else. I mean, if somebody is specifically asking, like, hey, can you tell me a little bit more about, the disease that you're battling? Then that's when you can go into details. But other than that, it's not like, just like people that are living with HIV or even some people that are living with herpes. Just no matter what you're living with, not everybody is going to walk up to you and say, hey, my name is Alicia and I have herpes. No, they want to see if you're going to at least make it past the week or a month being in their life in the first place. Thank you so much. A lot of people don't make it past being 2 weeks into friendship. Some people don't even make it past a year. So, if you don't ask on your own, if you see that I'm, maybe look like I'm sick, or if you heard me kind of talk about it, or if you just are aware, because when you are aware, you don't really have to ask. It's what's understood don't have to be explained. And it gets hard dealing with a sickness or a disease that people don't want to do the research on. You have the resources to do the research. It's not hidden from you. If you want to know about me, if you want to know a little bit about what I go through, instead of judging, because even I've met some people that you wouldn't even know that they have sickle cell unless they told you. But once they tell you, what do you do with that information? Yeah. Oh, share it alive. I get so used to just talking. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Share it alive, y'all. Tap the screen or whatever they be saying. I don't know. I just feel like the message is going to get who it's supposed to get to. People come into my path, and some are for a reason, some for a season, and you just, the same. But I'm appreciative for you being on the live today. Thank you. Yes. I just, nobody wants to keep talking about pain. Nobody wants to keep doing that. It's annoying. And even though we dress up and we look good, like I said, you'll meet people that don't even look like they have sickle cell. And you'll be like, and when you hear of them being in pain or ending up in the hospital, you're like, well, damn, we were just kicking it yesterday. Like, everything was good. Like, and mind you, this is you guys' friendship within 6 months, and she still hasn't told you, or he still hasn't told you. But you still haven't really got to know your friends or even family members that have it. How well do you know your friends? Do you know what their blood type is? No, really. How well do you know your friends? Not just their favorite color, but if they have the sickle cell trait, if they have lupus, if they have any type of autoimmune disease that maybe you can do research on or learn more about or be more there for them mentally. Sometimes we literally need a hug. Thank you so much for the gifts. Sometimes we literally need that. I'm talking about the hug where we could put our chin on your shoulder, and just like a real tight hug. Sometimes we just want to know that somebody cares enough to know what we are going through, not just, seeing me talk about it on social media or hearing, but actually do your research. I fucked up because I loved my friend, but how did I let what I was going through get in the way of what she was going through and not be there for her? I mean, I physically was having surgery, but still, I still blame myself. I know it's dumb, but when you have sickle cell, and I've watched this with my friend, she've watched so many of her friends that she was doing treatment with or been around, they passed away. And, just hearing how she would talk about how important it was to spread awareness. That's what made me start talking more about having lupus as well. Thank you for this. We wore these at her funeral, these red ribbons. And I will never take it down. Never. Oh. Some of you guys have lost family members and you didn't even have a clue that they had sickle cell. Try to do your due diligence and not just do research, but maybe take time out of your day, maybe even 2 times out of a month, to go sit with them and learn and talk with them and just hear their side of the story, their version. I think we all should learn about every disease. Not just do your research. Let me tell you what else is important. Also doing your research on yourself. On yourself. And I mean, make sure that you don't have the sickle cell trait. And don't even stop at just yourself. Make sure that whoever you decide to have sex with, and listen, I know that in the heat of the moment, you're not going to be like, okay, let me see your papers. Are you got STDs? You good? What's your sickle cell trait? I know that in the heat of the moment, it don't happen like that. I get it. But we're all older now. So we should know better and teach our children to get in the habit of doing this too. And this can also stop early pregnancy, early sex. Because, and the reason why I say this is because when you're teaching and when you're learning to screen the people that you let enter inside of you, when you screen the people that are in your life sexually, I mean, doesn't that stop one night stands? Doesn't that stop just having sex with people that you don't, you know what I'm saying? I mean, seriously. When you learn, if you and your partner have the sickle cell trait, when you learn ahead of time, that can prevent any more children being born with sickle cell. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the children and the men and women that we have right now with sickle cell. I'm saying that we can prevent it as a whole. just by screening the people that we are sexually encountering. If we feel that lust enough to want them, why can't we lust enough to look and make sure it is safe? Okay, because even if you use a condom, it can break. That's how teen pregnancies happen. That's how early pregnancies happen. That's how unexpected pregnancies happen, because the condom can break. So before you allow the condom to break or even think about that, first think, do you have the sickle cell trait? That should be a question from the jump, because you need to know. You need to know even if you have the sickle cell trait. Now, there are different ways of finding out if you have sickle cell, hereditary cancer. Like, this one is specifically for hereditary cancer, but they have different ones like these that can help you discover if you or your partner have sickle cell or the sickle cell trait. Again, that can 100% prevent sickle cell anymore. Shit. We can be the reason why there will be no more people being born, no more babies being born with sickle cell, because we are screening our partners, we are screening ourselves, we are making sure that we know. Also, for those that have friends and family that are suffering from sickle cell, know what your blood type is. Know what their blood type is. Know and find out if you're compatible. Because one day they may need a transfusion, and not saying that this could happen, but you never know. The hospital may run out of blood and they might be like, oh my God, we need O positive. And you like, you know what? My friend Sharon is actually O positive, and she actually went to, and let me tell you this, you can actually specifically donate your blood to your friend or family that has sickle cell or that has, a surgery that they may need a transfusion. You can specifically, all you have to do is talk to their doctor, talk to them, just have a discussion, and then it can happen. You can donate your blood to make sure that your friends and family never want for blood when they have a transfusion ever again. Be the reason. Learn your friends. Know your friends. Learn your family. Know your family. Know your history, even if you've been adopted. Because some people genuinely don't know their family history. Some people genuinely don't know anything about their bloodline. So this is what you need to do is, okay, now you need to figure out your bloodline. You are the bloodline. You are the start now. If you don't know anyone else that has the same blood running through their veins as you, then you start the bloodline. And any children that you have from then on, that's going to be more of your bloodline, and so on and so on. So now you need to do your due diligence and figure out, get your test, figure out if you have the sickle cell trait. And don't even just stop there. Not only figure out if you have the sickle cell trait, but also screen anybody that you are trying to have sex with. Say, hey, listen, if you are one of the ones with a sickle cell trait as well, if you find out, hey, my test came back positive, I got sickle cell trait. Okay. Now, anybody that you meet from here on out, that should be a part of a conversation. especially if sex is in the same sentence. If you got somebody that's attracted to you and you guys been talking and then now all of a sudden he like, hey, or she like, hey, I'm ready to get down. You got to say, hey, I have the sickle cell trait. Do you? And if they say, well, no, I don't know if I have it or not. Like, how do I find out? Or how do I know if I do? Or where do I see this at? Would it be in my regular blood test? No, it wouldn't be in your regular blood test. You would specifically have to ask for them to test you for the sickle cell trait. You know, if you know anybody in your family that has it or if you don't know. Or if you just want to be tested for it. Just ask them to test you to see if you have the sickle cell trait. And say, hey, you know, to the partner that you're discussing this with, like, you know, let's go and see if we can check and see if you got the sickle cell trait. And if you don't, let's fuck. If you do, let's not. You know, you got to be real. You got to be real, and you have to be the prevention. You feel me? Like, you got to be the condom. You have to be. You can't just rely on birth control. You can't rely on actual condoms. Sometimes you have to be the condom. Sometimes you have to be the protection. And that means screening whoever you have sex with, not just for STDs, but also for the sickle cell trait. You do not saying that anyone born with the sickle cell trait or a sickle cell is bad or shouldn't be here. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we can prevent future sickle cell patients by screening our sexual partners, by making sure that, you know, anybody that we're dating knows that you have the sickle cell trait. You know, because they may or may not know if they have the sickle cell trait. And also make it be known that, you know, we won't make it past first base or second base, not a third, fourth, or fifth, if you don't go and get yourself checked. You know, not only do I want to know if you have any STDs, but I also want to know if you have the sickle cell trait, because I have the sickle cell trait. And if we end up slipping up and I get pregnant, it's a possibility that it ain't no possibility. Our baby will have sickle cell. And if we can stop that from the jump, baby, I'm telling you, we can be winning. We can be the reason. Oh, y'all don't want to give us the cure, and y'all been having it since when? Oh, y'all don't want to give us the cure? Cool. Now, I will say this. Now they're saying sickle cell does have a cure. But what if you can't afford treatment? Let alone can you afford a regular primary care doctor? And it's very important, especially if you have sickle cell, to have a primary care and a doctor specifically for your sickle cell. If you don't have any care or any help, oh man, I couldn't even imagine what life would be like. Knowing that you can't get any help. Knowing that you can't afford your medication. When it comes to chronic illnesses, medication shouldn't cost at all. When it comes to chronic pain, medication shouldn't cost at all. It should be completely free. Period. If you've been diagnosed with sickle cell, lupus, any autoimmune disease, any type of chronic pain or illness, you should have medication and treatment for free. But that's too much like right. That's too much like right. They're not trying to educate you all on learning who has the sickle cell trait and learning how not to create babies with the sickle cell. They're not educating you. They're not pushing that narrative. They're not pushing that on you. They like, fuck, 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 fuck. They got music to fuck, 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 fuck. But fucking comes with a cost. It does. Especially if you have the sickle cell trait. What if you just so happen to have the sickle cell trait? You don't know. And then you have a one-night stand. He doesn't know.